Hey y'all, this is Tyler from O.T.R.Outdoors, and as I posted on Instagram the other day, we're going to do the breakdown of my scouting pack. Before we get started with it, one thing I will say is the only thing that will change fairly regularly as far as added gear that I don't always carry in this pack is going to be this axe. This is a Holtifers, basically they're small forest axe. This will be the only thing that will change. Sorry, mosquitoes are already out. That will change depending on what I'm doing. I won't always carry this. So with that aside, let's break into the rest of it. On the front, take this off. On the front, on my right, your left, I have my food stuff. So, got a to-go jar of peanut butter, and I have 2 tins. One tin has flour. This is a self-rising flour to make bannock with. And the other one has coffee. I usually have some type of granola bar. And just if I don't feel like starting a fire and I'm run out of water, pack of Aquamira tabs. I also have space on the sides of these for things. In this pocket, I have, I believe there's 2 quart-size gallon bag, or two quart-size Ziploc bags. And on this side, just a cloth to filter my coffee with. It's 100% cotton cloth. Over here on my other side, I have my water. This is the Pathfinder Canteen Shop canteen, stainless steel. Along with that, I have the full cook system, which is, I can hold on to it, the stove stand and the mug. Along with the lid. So that all goes nice and neat together. Lid goes on the bottom. And all nested together right there on the outside. This top pouch, I have my PSK. If you haven't watched that video, go back. It's my very first video I ever uploaded on YouTube of what all is in this kit. On this, I also have a cable clamp. I use this to hang my bag up off the ground. This is I believe it's 20 feet of braided, I've taken and braided 3-strand braid, number 36 bank line. A couple extra hanks, number 36 bank line. And then a couple variety sizes of paracord. And some smaller stuff for doing tie-outs and connecting my tarp to my wrist line. I have a notepad. It's a Right in the Rain notepad. Inside this notepad, I have Right in the Rain notepad and a spare lighter, along with a piece of tinfoil. I have a small multi-tool. The only reason I really carry this, the tools on it are not that great, but it's just to give me a pair of pliers if I need them for something. It's really the only reason I carry that. I have a Lansky's diamond rod that also has the cross-cut sharpening section on the back. I have, right now it's empty. This is normally my small fishing kit. But I used it the other day and I got to restock it. I have a small fire tin, got a couple pieces of fat wood, a lighter, and a ferro rod. I've used these for years. This is a flat, basically it's a roll up. When I bought them, they actually came flat to hang. It's a cutting board. Just gives me something when I'm working with food, if I'm either caught fish or gone hunting and got wild game, and I just don't want to deal with having to find a spot to clean it where it's not going to get stuff all over it. Just pull that out, put it on there, and then to clean it, just pour boiling water on it. And that's it for that pouch. I have my small axe by Condor that I carry. This is always going to be in this bag. That big axe will rotate in and out depending on what I'm doing. My Vaco Laplander saw. These two tools will either be in this bag. Actually, let me get one more thing out real quick. I have my repair and maintenance kit along with my diamond rod. Have some steel wool, a fine stone, a Lansky's puck, small sewing kit, and some fix and wax. All of this stuff fits into this bag. So my maintenance kit, my Vaco Laplander saw, and my Condor axe, those will rotate between this bag and my big bag depending on what I'm doing. The axe, the small axe won't always go into my big bag because my bigger axe is always my bigger bag. Sometimes I like to carry both depending on what I've got going on. And then I have in here, this is the Terra Nova Equipment Competition Tarp 2. It's in centimeters, so it actually ends up being a little over 9 by 9. It's a sil nylon tarp. And that's it for my scouting kit. All together with the water, this usually weighs, the only other thing that usually is in here is occasionally I'll have beef jerky instead of the granola bar or the peanut butter, or I'll have all of it. Somewhere between 15 and 20 pounds, and that's on the heavy end. If I'm at 20 pounds, it's usually because I have either a rain jacket or a couple extra layers depending on how cool it is or something like that. So that is it for this whole bag. This is what I use 90% of the time when I'm scouting. There's a quick close-up of all the gear. Sorry, I'm losing light. In my scouting pack. If you got any questions, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. Alright y'all, so that's it for my scouting pack. This is what I use if I'm going any further than my creek, which is behind me. Going back to my EDC real quick, my EDC I carry for immediately around my home. If I'm not going past the creek, sorry, mosquitoes are getting me. If I'm not going past the creek, I just carry my EDC. If I'm going any further than the creek, which is about 100-150 yards behind me, then I'll grab this pack. Or if I'm going any further off to my right, your left, which is a couple acres that way that my landlord owns that I have access to, along with the property behind the creek, then I'll grab this pack. I'm pretty much covered for a full 24 hours, depending on weather. If it's a little cool, then I may throw a sleeping bag or a wool blanket on the bottom, or if it's warm enough, I may throw just my hammock in. Excuse me. I may throw just my hammock in the kit and not have to worry about it. Like I said, this kit maxes out with a sleeping bag or a wool blanket or my hammock, a combination of one of the hammock and the sleeping bag or hammock and the wool blanket, I may be sitting at 20 pounds, if that. If I had to guess right now, I'm sitting somewhere between 10 and 15. Not real heavy, easy weight for just walking around the woods, exploring, walking down the creek, checking out what's going on prior to hunting season, whatever's coming up, just out scouting around. I'm covered pretty much for a full 24 hours without it. Remember, there's always a storm coming. Keep your powder dry, your action and knife sharp, and on your back trail. We'll see y'all next time.